Welcome to the Good Success Podcast. We have an amazing show scheduled for you today, but before we get started, let's have a word from our sponsors. Radius Renovation Group is a full-service construction management solution for investors of single-family and small multifamily investors in 25 states. Whether you own one property or hundreds in different states, the goal is to be your one-stop shop for all your construction needs to increase property values and to give you a positive and profitable outcome. Using their 8-step process, Radius will walk the project, complete a line-by-line scope of work and estimate, schedule work with licensed and Radius-certified contractors, manage the project and contractors, pay the contractors as work is completed, provide quality control throughout the project, and when the project is complete, do a final inspection. Clients are provided with login access to Radius's cloud-based project management platform to view work schedules and updated photos of each job. There is even the ability to directly message the project manager. Radius only works with real estate investors, so they speak your language and understand your needs, from project timing to investor-friendly pricing. If you're an investor who is done trying to manage contractors and rehabs on your own, it might be time to consider having Radius as your partner. To put their expertise to work for you today, visit the Radius website at www.radiusreno.com or call them right now at 417-730-9777. And now, back to the Good Success Podcast.
Well, success to me is happiness, and happiness to me is being able to help other people reach their goals. I also like to give back. It's really important to me. It makes me feel good, and I enjoy it. I think it's important for humanity, and so for me, success is to have a good, solid foundation within myself and my family, so I have the opportunities to help other people.
Welcome back to the Good Success Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Culler. Tom Olson, President of Good Success, sitting right next to me. Tom, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing fantastic.
I heard that you had a late night last night.
My goodness. Don't even get me started on the flights.
Anytime you come through Jackson, Mississippi, just know that you're going to have some kind of flight issue.
My goodness. I didn't get home till 2:30 a.m. It was ridiculous.
Oh, I'll tell you
Jackson
what.
did not have it together. Oh my goodness.
No.
So, no offense to Walter and Cindy and his crew out there, but yeah, it wasn't nice, but I got home. I got home safely. That's what matters.
You made it home,
That's
Josh.
what matters. I tried to be positive and
yes,
optimistic.
I'm sure Gabby appreciates that you made it home.
That's right, even though she was asleep when I got there. All right, so today we've got an exciting episode. You guys are going to pretty much be learning along the ways with us about Christy Fisher and Shannon Niemiec. And these guys have a platform that we don't really know much about, but we're going to give them a chance to talk about.
Well, I think it's because it's pretty new. I mean,
right.
sometimes
exactly.
like when things are new, you have to get them out there. And
right.
so I've talked to Christy several times on Financial Friends Network events. I've seen her at Walters. I've seen her at on the cruises. And she's always been a pleasant to speak with and always knowledgeable. She's had an experience in real estate. So love to be able to get their story today and understand, kind of what brought them to this. But we're seeing this a lot. Even Paul in our mastermind is creating a software on the back end for investors. Because right now, like all these investors out there that do notes and do lending, or they do funds, or they do syndications, or they do rentals, they don't have one place they can store it all. Mm-hmm. It's the hardest thing to figure out, like, how can I store this all in one place? And he's creating a software we're going to talk about in a podcast soon. But these two young ladies, did you catch that? I said young ladies. I was supposed to get props for that. You're supposed to get at least some thumbs up, right? Yeah, see? Yeah. These two young ladies have created this really cool software called Rapid Fire IRA, and they're going to tell us about today, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, and this platform does ringless voicemails and text messages, so we're going to give them a chance to explain that and fully introduce themselves, but then explain what's going on with Rapid Fire IRA. So first of all, guys, welcome to the show. Thank you for being on and taking the time to be on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. So we're going to come back around to them, have them fully introduce themselves. But before we get into it, If you haven't already, if you're listening to the podcast right now and you're not subscribed, you're completely missing out. So head over to whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. 5 stars would be absolutely amazing. We would love your feedback on it. Or you can just download the official Good Success app by either going to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store on Android. Search Good Success, download the official app, and it's just 10 times easier listening to the podcast that way. You get notifications as soon as the podcasts come out. The search functionality is incredible. So if you want to search for a specific topic, it doesn't just scrape the titles. It also scrapes the descriptions and everything. So make sure you guys try it out. Good Success, the official app.
And we have some cool stuff coming up, Josh.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have some.
We'll talk about it.
So we're going to continue the Good Success podcast.
Hey, I smiled.
A lot of times when people get to 200 episodes, they kind of start doing some different things, and you don't want to like have 1,000 different episodes of the exact same thing. So we're going to continue doing what we're doing, continue giving you amazing value with these 35 to 45 minute podcasts. But we're also going to start adding in some other podcasts as well that'll be shorter, that'll be kind of more to the point and directly. I think we're thinking about what to name it right now. So it might be the Good Success Minute, it might be daily,
thank you for having
Good
us.
Success Daily or something like that. So keep an eye out for that. Also, some of the cool things that we've got this new planner here that we're working on. We have the Active Turnkey book. We've got the Good Success gear. We're actually probably in the next month or so be on the lookout for our own little store on the Good Success website. So pay attention to that. And something else, not to get you guys outside of the whole realm of Good Success and all, but I always want to kind of push you guys somewhere else other than just the podcast, because I think the podcast is awesome and we should be here. But I'm just going to encourage everybody, whatever social media channel you're on, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, follow me personally as well. So it's at the Tom Olson. It's pretty easy to find. I'm pretty easy to find. So just follow me there as well, and I'll let you guys know about all of the events that are coming up. So we're super excited about some of the things that we've got going.
Yeah. So speaking of events, talk about the Mastermind. What do you guys got coming up next?
Mastermind. We are excited right now. I think we have 10 people signed up for the next Mastermind for new attendees. If you're a person out there and you're looking to be able to network and be in a community of fewer betters that are going to help each other, grow each other, and then not only grow, not only push, not only give more ideas, but also hold you accountable to what you think your top goals are. Or if you need somebody to help you create those top goals, we even have a special program for that as well. If you're interested in writing a book, we have a full A to Z program that me and Max Keller will actually help you write your own book, which in my opinion is probably worth $500,000 in long-term longevity. And if that's something that you guys are interested in, the Good Success Mastermind is full of a bunch of purpose-driven entrepreneurs that will help you get to your goals, but also help you have good success in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goodsuccess.com/mastermind. Fill out the application. You will talk to Dan, my new salesperson, and I hope to see you at the next Mastermind, August 5, 6, and 7, right here in Maryville, Indiana.
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, goodsuccess.com/mastermind, fill out the application, and we'll get in contact with you. So we're coming off fresh from the Community Go-Giver event. We were recording this a week before. So I don't know if we want to talk about it at all.
Well, sure. So just real quick, we had some, we have just, there's a movement happening right now within the Community Go-Giver spirit and that whole realm. And next year, I'm changing things up a little bit. So right now, next year, I'm looking for sponsors. So if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, I want to be a part of that Community Go-Giver spirit. I want to help that group. I want to help people be purpose-driven and use real estate to have a positive impact on their community, not just make a bunch of money, which I think you will if you have a good impact on your community. But I'm looking for 6 sponsors. So I'm looking for a key sponsor that's going to be like the core sponsor of the meeting. I'm looking for a sponsor that it will kind of be a silver sponsor, a gold sponsor, and then I'm looking for lunch sponsors. So those would be $1,500, $2,500, $3,500, and $5,000. And the reason why I want the sponsors next year is because I want the sponsors to pay for the event. And then everybody who comes to the event, we're going to put 100% of the proceeds. So 100% of all ticket sales. So whatever money we bring in for ticket sales is actually going to go into investing into community go-givers. Some of them will probably speak at our event next year, but 100% of the money will go back into the community in some way, shape, or form, probably mostly even at the community go-giver event. I don't want to give away too many secrets there, but we've got some awesome things planned. The dates for next year's community go-giver, so put it on your calendar right now, are June 24th, 25th, and 26th of 2020. So make sure you are there.
Man, some exciting stuff going on. Make sure you're following us on all the social platforms in order to get that news, because you just got to.
I haven't talked to Josh Culler yet about Hope and Strength. So like, I was gonna see if maybe he wanted to be a part of that, but we'll see. I don't know.
Josh may say yes.
Okay, so maybe theoretically, if Josh Culler was there, maybe he could be one of the community go-givers. I don't know. We'll see how it works out.
Hey, he's a nice guy. You should talk to him.
I hear he can't get his travel plans right or something. I don't know, but
it's just out of Jackson. Anyway, so that's exciting stuff. Make sure you guys are following on the social platforms that Tom mentioned earlier, because you're going to get all the news for that stuff, and you guys make sure that you keep an eye on it, because exciting stuff going on. All right, so that's it for what's going on at Good Success. Now let's go ahead and get into the show. We're excited to have Christy Fisher and Shannon Niemiec on the show today. Guys, I don't know who wants to go first, but I don't know. Maybe it's an eeny, meeny, miny, mo situation. But you guys do us a favor, briefly introduce your guys' selves and what you have going on in your world.
So my name's Shannon Niemiec. Just a little background about myself is I started wholesaling back in 2006 with my husband, and we had a good run until about 2008 when the market crashed. At that point, we both went back to normal jobs. He went back into corporate, started doing some staffing work. I bartended. I also worked corporate jobs. And then in 2013, we started having children, and we decided we wanted to do something different. So we sent out some direct mail just to kind of play around with it. We didn't really know what was going to happen. And we started closing deals again. And so I had 2 little kids running around in diapers. And I'm like, I built that side of the company at that point. And then once we were up and running, he came on full time and left his staffing position. And so that was in 2014. So we've been back full time since then.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, that's an interesting story, because a lot of people I know got into wholesaling right when you got out of wholesaling. So it's kind of like, it actually kind of shows you how the cycles are different, and how what works in a certain market wholesaling doesn't necessarily keep working anymore, but now a whole different brand of wholesaling will work once the market crashes, or once, things go. Like, I know guys that they made all the money as it was going down. Like they figured out how to make all the money when they were going down, but then once it hit bottom and started going back up, they couldn't figure it out again. So, and then vice versa. I know guys that you got right into it, they got fired from their job. So you went the opposite direction. People that got fired from their job and went to wholesaling during that time, you decided that wholesaling wasn't going to work anymore, and you went to the corporate job. So, and you know what's great about that is that both ways work. I think there's too much talk out there about everybody should quit their job and go do something, where sometimes it's the exact opposite that actually makes somebody successful. So, and it's not that one way is more right or more wrong. It's just that what's right for you isn't always right for everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good stuff. And thank you for introducing yourself. So Christy, give it to us.
Yeah, no. So I'm Christy Fisher, and my story is exactly opposite of Shannon's, where I was struggling teenage mom, built my entire career for about 18 years in corporate America, all the way up through the management ladder. And then I got laid off in 2016. So I got married in 2015, and my husband and I decided, okay, well, I decided to use it as like, this must be a sign. I'm supposed to not go back to corporate America, right? So I went full time in. I really, really struggled for the first 6 months. So, I mean, I flipped a house and made really good profit, but I did not like flipping at all. We bought land, we have a rental, we've let money out of our IRAs. And my Podio developer, which is also Shannon's, introduced us, or he told me to call Shannon. She's great at wholesaling. He knew I was trying to get into wholesaling because our markets have shifted to the point where I don't want to put my own money, because it's just the margins are too thin for my taste, at least. And so I called Shannon, and I called her again, and I called her again, and she ignored me.
Very persistent.
Yeah, so it paid off. So we finally started talking like in September of 2017, and we really hit it off. We actually partnered on some things. I'm really technical, and she had a great system that she shared. So we've sort of become really good friends and have the benefit of having a tiny little family type mastermind that we share stuff, and she'll call me like, hey, can I log into your system and take your Podio stuff? Yeah, go right ahead. You know, we have access. So we try things out and tell each other. And we both started in parallel doing our ringless voicemail and text messaging to essentially work out all the kinks and learn all the horrible lessons. That she called me one day and she goes, hey, maybe we should like create a course and see if we can help other people. And I'm like, that's awesome. Let's do it. And that was like on a Tuesday. And she's like, okay, let's do it right now. Like tomorrow. Like, okay, let's start. So that's kind of how this whole course was really created.
Yeah, I had a lot of people, they would reach out to me and ask, you know, how I'm getting the deal flow I'm getting in my market. And I didn't really have a way to show them without creating something, because there's a lot of steps to it. So I called Christy. I'm like, you know, a lot of people are asking me about this. I think we should set it up in a course platform where people can actually learn how to do it. And that's why we did it. So.
Got it. So,
awesome.
So let's go ahead and talk about
I want to
it.
clear up one thing first, Josh.
Okay,
so you started this, Christy, saying that you're a teenage mother. Are you still a teenage mother?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we cleared that up before we went any farther.
I have a teenage daughter.
Oh, gosh.
No, I
She's
don't.
a teenage daughter. Okay. So
she's 24.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So you're not a teenager anymore.
No, that
Okay,
I was
I'm
formerly.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Just in case the audience was wondering.
I'm sure they were really wondering if I was still a teenager.
That's funny. So you guys go ahead and do us a favor, like kind of talk about what people could expect with Rapid Fire REI. Sounds like a great platform. Definitely something that people need. We're going to kind of build this up because I want you guys to explain what your platform is and maybe how it's different from other ringless voicemails and text messaging platforms. And then we'll talk about kind of the importance and how you can generate leads off of those two things. So go ahead and talk about Rapid Fire REI.
So some of the things that are different with this platform than others we used in the past. So we've been doing this for about a year and a half, ringless voicemail and text messaging. And I started doing it solely. So that this is my sole way of getting seller leads at this point in time. So I'm having all eggs in one basket, but for me, I adapt quickly. So right now it's working. But what's different about the platform is this one is all together. So it's one platform that sends out ringless voicemail and text messages, and all your suppression is in one platform. Before, we had to use separate systems. So we were sending ringless voicemail from one system, text from another system, and then when people were suppressing, you'd have to cross-reference each system. And you weren't really able to keep track of the suppression like you really need to. So when people don't want to be called back, we make sure that we do not call them back. So we actually have IVRs in place, so they just press 2, and the system automatically suppresses them, so we never contact them again. So that's kind of a huge benefit of the system.
So walk me through the whole process. Let's just say, you know, I want to get REI Rapid Fire for me. Like, what can I expect? How do I set it up? How does it actually work? How do you actually get leads from this, and how does it work to get you deals?
So the first thing I was going to say is that we assume we do give you pointers on where to find your list, right? But you already have a list of, you know, people you bought that you have an address and a name. So we do have resources and recommendations on how to get things skip traced, to get numbers or get phone number of pins. So we would have, you know, a service that we could get that, you know, for you. And then once you have your list, we're going to walk you through how to set up everything from importing the list to setting up your IVRs to recording your IVRs. So it's very tactical, right? One thing that I would say, our training, I've taken a lot of training courses, unfortunately or fortunately, and this is very specific and shows you exactly how to execute step by step. And within 4 or 5 days, you're gonna have your list, you're gonna have it
uploaded, your IVRs are going to be set up, you're going to have your phones forwarded. And as soon as you hit the button to send the campaign out, your phone's going to start ringing within 20 minutes. And your leads are going to be flowing in. And depending on whether you have your own CRM, we do give some instructions on how to set things up and filter it to, we use CallRail and Podio, but obviously you have options. We would help you walk through that process. But I mean, it's truly like assuming you have a list, and if you don't, we can give you some courses to get the list. But then, I mean, it's, end to end.
So basically you buy the list and then you skip trace. That's the second step. And
Right.
then you would import the list of the cell phone numbers, and then you'll set up your own voicemails, set up your text messages that you're going to send out. And then it's just a matter of when you send them out. You're scheduling them out, I'm assuming. So then you would schedule them out, and then you just wait for the phone to ring.
Yeah, and we give scripts that we use for both voicemail, for texting. We have like an entire mind map on recommendations on how to manage the texts coming in and what to do with them. At least from what we do, right? Like we're just basically giving you the keys to the kingdom on how we're successful and telling you what we do. And yeah, I mean, essentially you can have 20,000 or 100,000, and we'll actually walk you through the technical part of it. And then we also use a platform that we have an affiliate partner that you're going to get all the same discounts and volumes that we get.
I hope you've been enjoying this Good Success podcast, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Our next sponsor is Gary Harper at Sharper Business Solutions. Your business is a personal endeavor that you have poured your blood, sweat, and tears into, and they know that. Sharper Business Solutions is a full-service solution to help you scale your dream. Sharper Business Solution implements the Sharper process and other key systems, giving you the confidence that you need to have freedom and grow and scale your business. The Sharper team wants to come right alongside you and provide the resources needed for long-term growth and success. If you are looking to grow or scale your business, contact my friend and Good Success Mastermind member, Gary Harper, and his team to help you implement the Sharper process. You can schedule your free consultation today at sharperprocess.com. So go do it right now. Go to sharperprocess.com and schedule your free consultation with Gary and his team. Our next sponsor is Jerry Padilla from Prime Lending. Whether it's your first time buying a home or you're well adversed in the process, buying and refinancing a home can be an exciting and rewarding but sometimes challenging experience. At Prime Lending, we take the time to listen and work with you to find a home loan that fits your needs. If you're looking to refinance your loan, lower your interest rate, lower your monthly payments, shorten your term, or get cash for whatever reason you need, we have a solution for you. Prime Lending also has several options for renovation loans, so you can find what works best for you and your home project. Make sure you contact our good friend, Jerry Padilla, who is a senior loan officer and originator with Prime Lending and has over 11 years in the mortgage industry. You can learn more about Jerry and what Prime Lending has to offer you by visiting goodsuccess.com/prime lending. Again, that's goodsuccess.com/prime lending. And now, back to our show.
So I'm assuming you've implemented this program for other people, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So could you just kind of give me, their, not the results necessarily, but just like, what have you seen that's helped them work through this better? And, and maybe what are some of the things that maybe they shouldn't go down if they go to your platform?
So Shannon, do you want to take we have one student who they're all in different markets, right? And, I think we actually know his success rate, right? So we're very new, first of all.
Sure.
We haven't marketed
5 students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one student hasn't really done a whole lot. One is new, and I think 2 or 3 have done great.
Yeah. So I have a student in my own market. After 2 weeks, he closed a $14,000 deal after 2 weeks of, sending out the ringless voicemail and text. Another student of ours.
And he was just fresh, right? So was he just a fresh person? Did he already have a list that he was already working?
He used our system and recommendations and bought the list after the course.
Right, but it was a new list that he just bought. So let's just say me, I'm a new person. I'm going to come to you today, and I'm going to say, hey, I want you to get Manny set up, who runs all of my acquisitions in my office. And I say, hey, Manny, I want you to get set up with Shannon and Heather. They're teenage moms, or they were at one point in time, and they are going to help us get more deals under contract. So you say, hey, go buy this list, Manny. And then Manny just sets everything up like the way you say, and then his phone just starts ringing.
Yes, that's exactly how it's done. I mean, there is one step in between would be the skip tracing. And then obviously you have to set up the system. So we have an account rep for the ringless voicemail and text system. So you would have to get in contact with him, and he would set that up for you and get you up and running. And then at that point, you would finish out the course with setting up your IVRs and importing your list. And then you can send it out. So it takes about, a week or less to get set up and running.
Awesome. Wow. Cool.
That's
so then, I did want to point out, so for the skip tracing, we do have the best data provider, and we have them at the best price at this point, and you can only get the price through Rapid Fire REI. Things change, but right now he's at 16 cents per lead. So
that's interesting.
And that does not include the phone number. You still have to do the skip tracing.
No, that is for the skip tracing.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's 16 cents per lead. And
that is a good price.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good price. And he also offers email and IP addresses. It's something that we are going to start marketing. So we're collecting the data and figuring out what to do with it afterwards.
So this is obviously a marketing / sales whole technique that we're talking about here, right? And the whole software. One thing that we've been hearing a lot, like over the past few years, has been postcards and mailings and all that kind of stuff. This is obviously, it's in the same realm of marketing and sales, but it's definitely a different technique to get leads. Do you think that this works better than those postcards and mailings and stuff like that? If so, what is your reasoning why it might work better?
Yes. I'm not knocking direct mail at all. I know a lot of people who do it, but the people that I know who are successful with it spend a lot of money on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, Christy, this is where we can go into our metrics and really show them. So for me right now, my cost to close is $700 per deal.
Mine is $2,500 per deal.
And I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Christy's in Dallas. So let me see. My ROI is 1,100%, and my average per deal is 12,000. So I stopped doing direct mail back in 2017, November 2017, when I discovered ringless voicemail and text. I went all in with it because it was so much cheaper, and I was seeing really great results with it. Now, I made a lot of mistakes because I didn't know what I was doing. So that's the great thing about our course. I've already made the mistakes, so I can teach you what not to do. But I was seeing, I think I had a 300% ROI on my direct mail when I quit doing it because it just wasn't performing in my market, or maybe it was my letter piece. I don't know, but it wasn't performing. I knew I needed to do something different. So I just started researching and, found the ringless voicemail and text and went with it.
I was gonna say, I don't know about you. I don't know much about Shannon's market, but in Dallas, I mean, I can imagine how crazy it is with all the mailings going out and these for sale by owners getting all these postcards in the mail.
Yeah, I think when Shannon and I partnered here in Dallas to start with in 2017, I mean, my ROI was already so low, right? I mean, it was taking so much to get even a phone to ring. And so like my ROI right now, and I ran these numbers this morning because I knew I would be able to come on and tell you what they were. So it's 823%, right? So for every dollar I spend, I get $8.23 back. And that again is at a $14,000 per average deal. And like I said, $2,500 to get a $14,000 deal.
Interesting.
I love
Awesome.
it.
So let's get into the real nuts and bolts. Everybody's going to be wanting to know what this next question answer is. So what does it cost, and how does somebody get in touch with you and make it happen?
So the course is $12.99, and they can reach out to us by email. We're rapidfirerei@gmail.com, or they can go to our Facebook page, which is Rapid Fire REI.
We also have like once you're signed up, right? We have the Facebook group. So for our students, anytime you have questions, you're just going to post so that everyone can see. And obviously you can reach out to us directly if you have trouble. And we've had people that are either overwhelmed at part of the setup, because it can, I mean, it's pretty technical, right? I mean, we're walking you through how to do all these. People don't love imports and exports and setting up these tedious little parts of, pieces and parts. And once you have the, you can stop the video, and like I always recommend, like, pause the video, do your next step, pause the video and do the next thing, because otherwise you watch the entire video all the way through and you're like, oh my gosh, that was so much, I don't want to start.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out, once it's set up, it takes less than 5 minutes to send a campaign. So once you're all set up, it's super easy, and we just have our VAs do it. It's just super easy to go in and send it. I mean, it takes no time. So
it's always the same, right? The setup is the upfront, commitment that you're going to make. But then, yeah, like my VA, I mean, I video myself setting it up, and he obviously has the courses that we created, and he does all of, like, he pulls the list, sets everything up, and runs the campaigns, and even works the campaigns. So
awesome. So basically, it's $12.99 for the course, but you get a whole lot more with the course than just like watching some videos. That's what I'm hearing, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that you guys are at the beginning of doing this, I think that it actually creates it, the perceived value sometimes isn't the real value. So the perceived value, this is, oh, they're new, they don't know what they're doing necessarily, they haven't had thousands of students. But the real value is when they have 1,000 students, they're not going to have time to be able to answer every one of your questions, and they're not really going to be, it's not about that they're not motivated or they don't want to help you. They just don't have the capacity or the time to help every single person when they have 1,000 students going at once. So the real value right now is that you get Shannon and Christy, and it's like, to me, like that's a ton of value right there. So if, like, to help hold somebody's hand for a couple months or whatever to get really up and going is really where the value is at. And I think that I just wanted to point that out, because you guys weren't pointing it out, and I feel like that's the real big value that somebody might get for that.
We still really are, I mean, incredibly hands-on and everything. So we will modify a process. We're sending our text campaigns to certain phone numbers on certain days, and then we'll experiment with something different. And each of us will experiment with something different. So, like, we keep telling our students constantly, when, we're not like the Kent Clothiers, let's say, of the world, but we're at least steps ahead of other people. And we continue to always be a step ahead, probably, and we will tell you what we're doing and and how it's working, and give you the information.
We do share a lot in the Facebook group. We'll share anything new that we come up with, and it may not have anything to do with Rapid Fire or how we're sending our mail, but sometimes we'll just share how we're working our leads differently and what's producing better results. So we're open to sharing.
So it is the time to get on the Christy and the Shannon bandwagon right now, folks. I'm just letting everybody know. So I appreciate you guys filling us in on that. You got that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to talk about one of those things that maybe you shared on the Facebook page. So tell us something that's working with the lead generation, or something that you've discovered that is a different technique that is working well for you.
Yeah, so what I shared, and we started doing this about 3 weeks ago. So what we're doing now is we use Podio, and we set up a Zapier link from Mojo to Podio. So as the leads come into Podio, instead of our acquisitions manager working the lead one by one, we're actually pushing it into Mojo through Zapier. And then they're getting on a dialer and they're dialing these leads. So they're able to cut their work from like 3 hours to an hour.
So, and let me expound upon that. So the reason, I can see Josh's face like, wait a minute, put it in Podio and then you do Mojo? Okay, so the reason is because our IVRs, when I say we send out 30,000 drops, right? For ringless voicemail, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to call back like, I missed your call, I missed your call, I missed your call. I mean, 200 in an hour. So as much as I'd love, and I'm experimenting with both, we don't live answer the phones. And so you could get 50 leads in an hour. And if you're trying to call them all back, it's you got to open Podio, call one, open Podio, call one. So she's taking those to try to make that first contact with those instead of having one person do it manually.
Yeah,
but we only push, so we're only pushing the leads into our CRM where they're hitting 1, and 1 means that they're interested in selling. So we're only trying to contact those people back. But yesterday I had 28 leads filter into my system. So my acquisitions manager, as you know, you'll have a lead come in and you don't necessarily get a hold of them the day they call. Even though you try, you may not get them. Well, we want to be super aggressive and getting hold of the people that are actually calling into our system and pressing 1 saying, I am interested in selling. So I want someone to call them every day until they tell us not to call them anymore, or, they make contact with them. And in order to do that and make it efficient, because I have a small team, and in order to make it efficient, I've Mojo to do that. And they go on with the dialer and it's super fast. So that's one of the tips.
That's great stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you guys want to learn more about it, you just got to go get involved in their stuff. So we'll have them drop their contact info below at the end of the show here. We're going to have to wind this down. We got a couple more questions that we're going to ask you guys. But before we get into kind of the final round, I always want to ask this question because you guys are both very incredible people, and you got some great stuff that's going on. You've been through a lot. So when it comes to being specifically a woman entrepreneur, a woman business owner, a woman real estate investor, whatever you want to call it, what is something that you have learned, like a valuable life lesson, business lesson, whatever you want to share in the realm of women entrepreneurship that you guys could pass on to the audience here?
So I'll go first. Yeah, so I think from my perspective, first of all, I will say I'm not really a subscriber to playing a victim in any sense. So I don't always, I do notice that it's different being a woman, but I think that you have to just know that you have, confidence going in. And I would say women are very much more likely to, not be so supportive of other women for whatever reason. I'm not sure where the history comes from, but you know what? Like I say, bring up other women. I tend to have a lot of male investor friends, and I don't know if it's because women become more competitive, but I say bring women along, teach them. You probably have daughters. Like, what do you want your daughter's experience to be? Like, I've got a 24-year-old daughter, and she's an entrepreneur, and I'm always trying to bring her along. So be positive and bring people along with you instead of being catty and competitive.
I love that. That's awesome.
I think that's great, Christy. I don't think I've ever really noticed a difference, but maybe because I don't know any different, right? But I don't feel like I've noticed that I've been treated differently for being a woman. I still do all the negotiations. Like I'm on the buyer's disposition side. I do all the negotiations. The buyers in my city know me really well, and we all have a good, a relationship. And most of them are men. So, I just don't really notice a big difference in it.
She's a negotiator. Like, they want to negotiate. Like, no. She'll just say no. Nope, take it or leave it.
So Shannon's is just be confident.
Well, but I think what's really key here is both people actually said there shouldn't be any difference, so why are we talking about it? And I think there's a lot of talk about it, and it's kind of like, well, like the people that are really successful are the people that just put their nose to the grind, do the work. Because if you do the work, like, the results are going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree.
So that's awesome.
That's great stuff. All right.
So I want to make sure that we do get their email again. They went really fast, so fast I couldn't even write it down.
We're not winding it down now.
Okay. Well,
we're going to get contact info at the end.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we're definitely going to come back around to that. But we're going to go in the final round here. We got 2 questions I want to ask each of you. to answer that we ask every single person we get on the show here. So good success. I don't know how well you guys know Tom. I know it's the first time you guys are talking to me, and I don't know how well you know good success, but maybe it was the first time that you heard about good success, or when you were emailing back and forth with us to get on the show or whatever. What does good success mean to you guys? That term, maybe not the group of people, but the term good success. When you guys heard that term, what does that mean to you?
Well, success to me is happiness, and happiness to me is being able to help other people reach their goals. I also like to give back. It's really important to me. It makes me feel good, and I enjoy it. I think it's important for humanity. And so for me, success is to have a good, solid foundation within myself and my family, so I have the opportunities to help other people. So
I love that.
Thank you.
For me, I mean, good success is, I know that it's all relative, like where we come from, right? So I've had opportunities that other people haven't. I've been blessed to be able to do things other people haven't. There's been people above me. So it's to take what I've been blessed with, my fortunate opportunities that I've been given, and share those with other people that haven't maybe had those opportunities or wouldn't have them if it's not me giving it to them. It's just important to understand where you come from and want to help others.
See, Josh, they know what good success is.
Absolutely.
See, it's work to have to give. They got it.
I love it. They get the messaging. The branding is working.
It's working.
All right. Thank you guys for sharing that. And then the last thing that we got here, and then we'll get some contact info from you guys, but we always want the person or the interviewees on the show to leave us with one thing and one thing only. So whether it's a quote, a thought, piece of advice, a book that you guys have read and you want to share that, if you had to leave the audience with one thing, what would that be? Let's start with Christy.
So I had a book that is like for the engineer brain. So I don't know if it's for everyone, but I loved it because I could actually implement it, but it's called Mind Hacking. I don't know if you've read it or you have it, but
Heard of it.
There's this 21-day program. I used to mock meditation like 7 months ago because I'm like, I don't know this whole, like, pay attention to the breath. Like, what does that even mean? I don't even understand what, it's like something that's not tangible for me. So I went through this 21-day program, and I'm not even going to lie, I would fall asleep during meditation, and I'd wake up and go, what was supposed to just happen? But like, it really has, like, I've stuck with it and I keep doing it. And it really has changed a lot of things about my life and about my habits. And I've implemented all sorts of, morning habits and getting up and journaling. So that truly was like a big game changer for me, although it could be boring for the non-engineer mind.
Yeah.
But it was great for me.
That's great. And one thing I want to capitalize on that, I've actually been meditating for about 2 years now, and it has just completely changed a lot of things. It more of like self-control type things, because I've been known for having a temper, right, Tom? and being able to meditate and get in touch with myself and breathe properly. But that, like, I use those breathing techniques when I'm actually, like, throughout my day-to-day. So I think it helps a lot. And I thank you for sharing that.
And because I'm still, I guess, new to meditation, at least I would consider myself, I will journal. I meditate and then I journal.
Yeah.
And I will find myself writing down about, like, just this concentration is what I call it. The concentration exercise on X. I'm like, I'm not really sure what that was supposed to do because I'm confused. Like, I'll write that down. Like, it's like I'm talking to myself in third person.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's just really like, because sometimes I do this meditation. I'm like, that was weird. But
Okay, but whatever works, right?
Well, I think what it really is it comes down to the one thing that none of us want. And we don't want it, but we need it. We need discipline. So like and sometimes it comes with weight. Sometimes it comes with the way you eat. Sometimes it comes with working out. Whatever it is, like, there's something that everybody has that if they'll just tip over that one domino, like, a lot of other disciplines will happen in their life if they'll be disciplined in this one thing and make sure that that's a priority. So
good.
That's awesome.
Good. Sharon, go ahead.
So for me, it's I started practicing gratitude within the last year. I'd never done that before. I always just thought I was thankful for what I had because I knew I was supposed to be, right? So I always just in my head thought, oh, I'm thankful to have a roof over my head. I'm thankful to have the food, but I never practiced it. And when I started actually practicing it, I realized that I wasn't really as grateful as I thought I was, right? So that's actually been a huge eye opener for me. And I just think everyone should practice gratitude, not just think they're thankful for things, but actually practice being grateful for what they have.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for sharing that.
Day 2, every mastermind.
Yep.
We're going to practice gratitude.
You make everybody send a text message saying they're grateful for somebody.
Somebody. You should do it every day.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing everything. Before you guys go, leave us some contact information. I know that you mentioned it earlier in the show, but how can people get in contact with you to either learn more about you or Rapid Fire REI?
So yeah, it's Rapid Fire REI at Gmail.
All right, and then you got your Facebook page, right?
Yep, and just Rapid Fire REI. You can go directly to that Facebook page.
Great stuff. All right. Well, thank you guys for sharing that. Thank you for being on the show today and taking time to share everything that you did today. We look forward to having you guys back again soon.
Yeah, I can't wait to have you guys have 1,000 viewers or 1,000
yeah.
people. So,
Yeah,
probably within 2 weeks after this podcast airs, you guys will be like hanging with Gary V and
Russell Brunson.
Russell Brunson. Yes, you guys will be with Russell Brunson and Gary V and
we'll be right on stage, right?
Yeah, you guys
That's exactly right.
With Tony Robbins. You guys will be there.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being on. We look forward to having you back again soon. That is going to do it for today's episode. We appreciate you jumping on and joining us today. Again, if you aren't subscribed and you're listening to the podcast right now, make sure you leave the podcast right now, hit that subscribe button so that you can get all the notifications about when we send new episodes out. And then leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts if you listen to it on Apple Podcasts, or just download the Good Success app on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store for Android. Then the Mastermind.
Yep,
Good Success,
Mastermind's coming up.
goodsuccess.com/mastermind. Fill out the application there, and then all the details for the upcoming events are there, so you can check that out as well. Follow us on all of our social platforms so that you can be up to date on the next year's Community Go-Giver event, because we just ended. I mean, we're recording this a week before the Community Go-Giver event for 2019, but this is probably going to air afterwards, so. I'm sure it went well. Great stuff. So that's going to do it for today's episode.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right this minute. That's going to do it for today's episode. We appreciate you jumping on and joining us today. Remember to be a conduit, not a bucket.
Work to have to give.
And we'll catch you all in the next one.